Hey, 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 you know what it is. You know where you is. Yes, yes, yes. It is that time. Once again, welcome to the I Am the Possible podcast experience. Yes, the place where possibilities become perspective. Guys, welcome once again into the I Am the Possible universe. Thank you so much for rocking with me once again in the place to be. You know, we have some amazing things to see today. I is your host, Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, and I is here. That's right. I'm here on the planet called the Earth. I'm here in your I don't know where you are. Maybe you're at home listening on your phone. Maybe you're in the car driving. I don't know where you are, but I am here to help you to number one, learn, number two, and number three, live what you are. And I just believe that today I'm going to share some things with you that are going to help you to begin to do that. Just a little more, right? We taking baby steps, little steps, right? Just increments, right? Progress. And we're going to be talking about how to make progress today. But before we get into any of that, I want to thank you. I want to salute you. I want to honor you. I want to pause for the cause, and you are that cause. Guys, as I've always said, your presence is the greatest present that you could ever give me. So thank you so much for every like, for every comment, for every share, for every email, for every point of engagement. However you engage, thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being what you are. And thank you for being why you are. God has attached a why to your life. You are here on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. And I honor you. I salute you. And I thank God for you. So let's get right into it today, guys. Today, I'm calling this one, and sometimes the title might be different on YouTube, right? Because you try to, change up the title sometimes to kind of match some of the algorithms and all of that different stuff, right? But in terms of just the listener, you who's listening, the essence of today's episode is getting to where you want to go in life. Getting to where you want to go in life. Now, I don't know. Some of you may already be where you want to go. And if that's the case, then maybe this is one of those, moments where you will learn some things, right? But maybe this is an opportunity for you to share this episode with friends and family who have not yet gotten to where they want to go in life. And so I was thinking through this morning, and it was very interesting what God was revealing to me. And so I'm going to, start off with a quote by my man Bruce Lee that I think really lays the foundation for the things that I want to share. And I believe that God's given me to share with you today. It says, "It is not the daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is." Let me read that one more time. It is not in life. It is not about a daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. I've always loved that quote, and I've known it for many years. And what is always said to me, and I'll put it in the framework of a runner, and I'll share my story with you guys. But I've always put it in the framework of being somewhere and needing or wanting and desiring to get somewhere else. And maybe you're in that place right now. Maybe where you are, maybe it's your job. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's where you are physically, emotionally, spiritually. Maybe, as I've always said, you name it, you frame it. What is it for you? You fill in the blank. But you're at a point, at a place, an age, a stage in your life where it's not enough. You're not quite content. You're not quite satisfied. There's something more. that God has for you. There's something more that you desire to achieve. There's something more that you desire to accomplish. And this isn't about selfishness. This isn't about being an overachiever. This isn't about, being caught up in the matrix of never being enough. Today's episode is about you just have it in your heart. You know, in your heart of hearts, in your mind of minds, you just know that there is more potential. There is more of the possible within you, desiring to emerge, desiring to be developed, desiring to unfold, desiring to be expressed, desiring to be experienced. You just know in your heart of hearts that God has invested something greater within you, and where you are today, it doesn't satisfy your soul because you know that you have been created for and been called to more than maybe what you're experiencing, maybe more than what you're doing, maybe more than what you're currently allowing yourself to express in the world. There is just a more within you, and where you are, you just know that there's another stage, another place, another level that you are being drawn to, pulled to. It's calling you forth, but there's some things that are in your way. You feel maybe stuck. You feel maybe stagnant. You feel maybe caught up or held back. There is some resistance. And while there is many, many things that could hold you up, that could get you stuck, that could represent resistance, there's many things. Today, I only want to share and I only want to talk about one, right? Because these episodes, man, you can only get in so much. So I hope and pray that what I want to share with you, if that's you, if I just described you, then I'm speaking to you today, or perhaps you might know somebody who's expressed to you that that's where they are. And this is an opportunity for you to share this episode, for you to tag them or send it to them or tell them about it, being that bridge for someone else to get to some information that they need. But if this is for you or someone you know, I want you to lean in, because this isn't about just me. This is about what I believe that God, the divine, is communicating. And there's some things for you to pick up. There's some things for you to discover about yourself that's going to help you to get to where you want to go in life. Bruce Lee says it's not about the increase, but it's about the decrease. You know, I've kind of put it in my own words, advancing in life, because this is what we're talking about. Advancing in life is not about adding on more, but it's about stripping off more. It's about not taking on more. It's about stripping off more. It's not about adding. It's about subtracting. And I told you earlier that I wanted to give you an example from my own personal life. And before I do that, let me just also say, and maybe I'll wrap back around to it, for my spiritual folks out there, however you see the devil, however you deal with that, whatever your belief system is, whether it's the devil or it's spiritual warfare or it's the darkness of humanity, the shadow, however you name it and frame it, that resistance in the spiritual realm, it deals in distractions. We are a distracted people. And that's what I want to talk about today. Minimizing, lessening, stripping away, hacking away the distractions of life. So as a runner, I've been running for a couple of years now. And I remember when I was first being trained, Kyle Brown, shout out to Kyle Brown, man. He was my coach for running. I took him on as a mentor and as a coach. Young brother from our church. He's gone on to another church right now, but he was there. His father, great man of God. He was Eric Brown. He was the man that spoke those 5 words that changed my life. Treveal, you are a teacher. Changed my life completely. man, I don't want to go down that path because I'll just get derailed. I could just say it was transformative what Kyle's father, Eric, was able to do in my life through just those 5 words. But it brought me to where I am today. And Kyle was his son, or is his son. And so Kyle was going to APU, Azusa Pacific University. And he's a track star. He's a runner. He's skilled, masterful, talented, blessed. And so I looked to Kyle to be my mentor. Kyle, I want to start running 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, eventually marathons. I want to run, Kyle. So he agreed. We worked out a deal. He agreed to take me on as a client and train me how to run. And running is certainly a great metaphor for life. We always say life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Well, I don't care if it's a marathon. I don't care if it's a 5K, 10K, however you frame it. There is a starting line, a starting block. The gun goes off, pow, and the runners begin to run. And there's a finish line. And during my training sessions, one thing I learned is that there is a skill, there is a technique, there is a set of rules that govern the physical body, that allows it to run faster, to run further, if you would adhere to those rules. I won't bore you to death and get into all the rules, but there is a placement of your arms that allows for less wind to become resistance as you run. There's a certain lifting of your knees and your legs, a bending of your legs as you run that allows you to cover more distance in less time. Things such as that. But there's this other element that I picked up on. I observed it in Kyle's life when I watched videos of him run. And then through his training, he never really said it, but it was evident in terms of his relationship with me and the way we would train. We'd go over to where my kids were in high school, Arcadia High here, and we get on that track. And Kyle would have me do laps, right? Every 4 laps is a mile. So we would do these laps. We do these different types of runs. We do these kinds of stretches, pre-workout, post-workout stretches and drills. And without saying it, right? There's been a statistic, 97% of all communication is nonverbal. Kyle never said it. But in what he was instructing me to do, he said without saying, you want to wear, you want to carry, you want to have on you as little as possible. Average running outfit. You got your tank top or your t-shirt. All right. You got your joggers. I don't know what they call those spandex underwear, to kind of help with the friction between your legs. But you got your joggers on. You have a set of running shorts, socks and shoes, baby. That's it. That's all you got. Now, of course, if you're running long distance and you're by yourself, maybe you have some, AirPods in. You've got your cell phone strapped to something. So you can listen to some music or whatnot, maybe an audiobook or something. I love to do that when I was running by myself. But here's what you didn't have on. You didn't have on military style boots. You didn't have on blue jeans. You didn't have on a sweater, a turtleneck, a long sleeve shirt, a jacket, a hat. You didn't have on all of these accessories. Maybe you see some of those guys who run in the Olympics. Maybe they have like a thin gold chain on, because they're just trying to be smooth like that. But for the most part, you ain't got nothing around your neck. You're not carrying anything in your hands. What's my point? Let me ask you this question to make my point. Do you think you could run further and faster by having more on or having less on? Do you think you could run further and faster carrying more or carrying less? Do you think you could run further and faster? And here's the catch: being distracted by the weight and the complexity and the compromise of having many things attached to you or few things attached to you. See, the devil deals in distractions. The more ancillary things, the additional things, the unessential things that we involve ourselves with and become distracted by, the slower we're going to run and the shorter distance we're going to be able. The devil deals in distractions. The devil wants you distracted by the cares of life. I have a whole nother video that I'm going to share. It's called Captain Care-a-Lot. The more we care about what people think, about what people say, the more we care about things that have nothing to do with where we're trying to go, then the slower we're going to go and the shorter distance we're going to cover. But as like Bruce Lee said, the more you learn to strip away and let go of and free yourself of, the further and the faster. So if you're struggling with where you want to go in life, getting to where you want to go in life, perhaps it's not that you're dumb. It's not that you're that you don't have the ability. It's not that you're cursed. It's not that God is against you. Sometimes it's not even that it's not your season, not your time. Sometimes you're distracted. I can attest to this. Sometimes we're distracted, and we're so distracted that we are weighed down emotionally, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, physiologically. We are caught up in the cares. We're entangled in the cares. We're being tripped up, held back, stuck. Our journey is being compromised. We're wasting large amounts of time. Large amounts of our potential is sitting dormant. And we're not getting to where we want to go in life because we've been getting to all of these distractions. We make time for the distraction. We make time for the care of life. We make time for the meaningless. We make time for the unessential. We make time for the things that don't matter so much. We make time for the things that have nothing to do with why we are here. And we're wondering, why am I not? I can attest to this. I've been distracted for years. Sometimes it's not just a day or a week or a month. Sometimes we can become distracted for years before we wake up, before something shakes us and we have this epiphany, this revelation of years lost. And I hope and pray that I can prevent some of that in your personal life. I want to give you 3 steps. It's a self-examination. Step number 1. I want you to ask yourself, if you're dealing with this, if you're struggling with this. I find that assessments and evaluations and examinations are some of the most useful things because it gives us the opportunity, it creates the space and the place for revelation and for transformation. Question number 1, what do I feel most called to create in life. Many times when we talk about getting somewhere, it's about purpose. It's about calling. It's about creation. But you name it, you frame it. I'm just using this term. You make the term whatever you need to make it. I'm just giving you the framework because I love the word create. We were created by a creator to create great things. I'll say that again for the people in the back. We were created by a creator to be creators of great things. Yeah, that works for me. Put it in whatever words work for you. But the first question is, when you're examining yourself, what do I feel most called to? Where do I feel most called to? Since we're putting it in the framework of getting to where you want to go. What do you feel most called to? Where is life, God, pulling you? Where is purpose pulling you? Right? Purpose pulls. Like a magnet. Purpose pulls you in. You don't have to be pushed, right? You don't have to struggle. Purpose pulls you. Come here, come here, come here. What's summoning you? Where are you being summoned? Where into what arena are you being called? Right? Take time to think about that. And whatever comes to heart, whatever God gives you, whatever the divine lays on you, right? Drops on you. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to acknowledge it, and I want you to accept it. Acknowledge and accept. Don't overthink it. Ask the question, and your mind is hardwired to provide you an inspired answer. So don't overthink it. Ask the question, let it go. And when you are inspired with the answer and when it resonates, write it down, accept it, believe it, go with it. Acknowledge that that was given to you by God and then accept it. Write it down. Question number 2. What things do you find yourself, or this is a question to yourself. What things do I find myself doing that have no direct connection nor correlation with what I'm being called to create in life or where I'm being called to, and that leave me questioning, why did I just do that? Acknowledge it and accept it. And I'm going to get to the importance of acknowledging and accepting it at the end. But you're asking yourself that question. Number 2, the question is this. What things do I find myself doing that have no direct connection or correlation with where I'm going? And they leave me asking the question, man, why did I just do that? Why did I just waste time doing that? You've been there. You've asked that question. I have. We all do. Because we all get distracted. We all get caught up. Acknowledge your answer. It's okay. Accept your answer. It's okay. The good news is you can change. Don't beat yourself down because of the answers. Accept the answers. Embrace the answers. It's good that you're doing this. You're learning about yourself, which is going to lead to you liking yourself, which is going to lead to you living yourself. Question number 3. What will I do to do less of these things in the future? Trust the process, as we say. Your mind is hardwired. It has been designed by the divine to provide you answers. Answers that align with the very reason you exist. Trust it. Trust it. Trust that the mind is going to do its job. Your job is to simply ask questions, quality questions. Yeah. What will I do to do less of this in the future? You're asking your mind, what's going to be my game plan to not get distracted in the future by these things? Yep. You guessed it. The next step to this one, right? You guessed it. Acknowledge and accept it. write it down, and go with it. I don't have time in this episode to talk about, but I will take time in a whole different episode because I want to dedicate a whole episode to this. I don't have time to talk about it in this episode, but overthinking and thinking in and of itself is a huge distraction, and just in and of itself, it's a huge. I'm looking for a word. It's a derailer. It derails because most of the time we ask a question, the divine drops it on us, and then we start to think, well, I don't know, maybe. Game over. As soon as you start thinking, he dropped it on you. It's there. But because you haven't learned and you haven't trained trust in yourself, you begin to think, and you think your way out of doing the very thing that God has given you to do. So don't overthink it. Ask the question, let it go, and receive divine information, revelation, and inspiration. Write it down and go with it. You will be glad you did. I said that in closing, I will talk about acknowledging and accepting. It's important that we acknowledge things and that we accept things, because denial, avoidance, they become such great distractors in and of themselves, and they tend to deflate. They tend to dishearten what God wants to do in your life. It is much better to say, yeah, if that came up for me, that's what it is. Having in your heart the truth, the good news, the continuous good news that you have the God-given gift of choice and change. So fear not your answers. Fear not what comes up for you. They don't define you. And the great part is, you have the God-given gift to choose something different and to change in whatever ways you desire. So be honest with yourself. It's okay. You are still good, and you are still God's best creation. Love you guys, praying for you guys, believing in you guys. I hope and pray that this has been a blessing to you, that it has encouraged you, enriched you, strengthened you, and provided you some insights that you needed that are going to help you to get to where you want to go in life. This is the I Am the Possible podcast experience, the bonus track. Yes. And this is the I Am the Possible universe. Thank you so much. Until next time, let's continue right up in here, baby. If you're watching on the tube, I'm pointing to my chest, pointing to my heart right here. Let's continue to regulate. Pointing to my eyes. Let's continue to innovate. Pointing to my head. Let's continue to elevate. Continue to be encouraged. And yes, most importantly, as always, continue to be your possible. God bless you.